What is going on, guys? So this is my full review of the iPad Air 4 2020, and we'll basically see how much of a difference you would notice if at all you decide to go for the iPad Air 4 2020 instead of waiting or going for the iPad Pro 2021 or even going for the older 2020 iPad Pros. Make sure to check out my unboxing as well, and do watch the video till the end because we'll be discussing all the aspects. So without wasting any further time, let's get started. Now the iPad Air 4 2020 is not very affordable, but still it is comparatively affordable than the Pro models, and it would definitely be affordable than the 2021 Pro models. Doesn't matter if you would be using your iPad for professional uses or for just your home entertainment purposes. It can be a difficult choice to choose which iPad to go for. So let's compare all the points. Now talking about the design, Apple has redesigned its iPad lineup starting from the 2020 Pro models. And the best thing is that the iPad Air also gets the similar design, that squared edge design. It actually feels more grippy and also feels more premium. Now we also have the USB Type-C port, which makes it more universal, and you don't have to buy those converters now. You can easily connect your external SSDs and external monitors as well. And also there is that magnet placement to place your Apple Pencil to and also charge it wirelessly. One thing different from the Pro models is that the bezels are a bit thicker on the iPad Air, but you would hardly notice that unless you're comparing them side by side. And by the way, I think that the thicker bezels do help in preventing accidental touches. But the Pro models always would have thinner bezels, but most of the other things in the design would be almost the same, be it the 2020 or the 2021 Pro models. Now talking about the display, the iPad Air 2020 has the Liquid Retina display, which is the same display from the iPad Pros in the 2020. However, it does not have Pro Motion display. And this Pro Motion display actually helps in reducing the latency of the Apple Pencil by half. But the reality is, after my experience of using this iPad Air, is that unless you have some pro designing or architecture work that requires you to very regularly build detailed designs or drawings, you might not even care about it. The refresh rate of 60Hz is also buttery smooth, even though it is half the refresh rate of the Pro models, but still you don't notice it at all unless you compare them side by side. So it all boils down to, would you notice the difference? Probably yes, but would you need that difference? Mostly not. The 2020 Pro models, however, would have mini LED displays, so Apple would finally be switching from LCD displays to LED displays. But still today, I can't believe Apple still uses the LCD displays, and still a lot of professional work is being done on iPads. The mini LED displays, however, would have even more dynamic range and even more color ranges to support. So if you have some pro artistic work or some pro designing work where you require more color accuracy, then those mini LED displays might make a difference. But still, is the LCD display on the iPad Air bad? Well, not at all. It's one of the best LCD displays out there, and the wide gamut color ranges that it supports, you might not even notice that much of a difference unless you're using some very custom colors. So again, would you notice the difference? Probably yes, but would you need that difference? Mostly not. Now let's talk about the processor. So this actually is a big point of confusion between many buyers out there, because the Air has the newer A14 processor, which is also in the iPhone 12 lineup, and it really excels well in the single core performance than the A12Z from the iPad Pro 2020s of the last year. But when it comes to multi-core performance, the A12Z wins. But many programs and even games today work on that, mostly on that single core performance, and so that A14 processor would feel faster in day-to-day activities. Unless you're doing some like multiple programs, multiple heavy editing programs, then the A12Z just might prove a little faster, but not most of the times. Talking about the iPad Pro 2021, so they would have an enhanced A14X processor, which will be even faster than the A14 that we have today. So where would you notice that difference? In heavy photo editing and video editing, or even in simulation apps. But for most people, would you notice the difference? Probably yes, but would you need that difference? You get it, right? Yes, but to mention my experience on the iPad Air with the A14 chip, I did notice some hiccups while editing 4K 60fps videos. Well, not on 4K 30fps, but on 4K 60fps it was lagging a bit. But if you're a professional video editor or a YouTuber, then the iPad Pro 2021 with the A14X might prove a little bit more punchier in the performance. Especially when it comes to editing 4K 60fps videos, And even the Dolby Vision HDR, I think Apple might introduce that support because it is there in the iPhone 12s now. And I might be hoping too much, but probably we might get support for 60 or 8K as well. However, that does not seem to be likely. Now coming to the biometrics, we have the Touch ID on the iPad Air, which I think proves to be more faster, but not as fast as the Face ID on the Pro models. So if you are already used to that Face ID, and if you're going to be using your iPad mostly indoors and not outdoors wearing masks, then I think the Pro models 2021 Face ID would be much faster when it comes to getting into your iPad. But for most of the scenarios, whether it be indoor or outdoor, the Touch ID is always more reliable. If you decide to dish that Face ID and go with the fingerprint scanner on the iPad Air, would you notice that difference? Probably yes. But would you need that difference? Now, talking about the cameras, I think this is the place where the Pro models and the iPad Air actually have that hardware difference. I think the Pro models, be it the 2021 or the older 2020 models, excel in that because they have the extra ultra wide camera and the LiDAR sensor as well. Now, I'm not that person who is going to say that don't go shooting photos or videos with your iPad, because I know many professional uses might require that. I mean, that's why it is there, right? So that ultra wide camera and also that LiDAR sensor for AR capabilities, it really proves more helpful if you have that application. Then I think there is no confusion that you should actually go for the Pro models only, because the iPad Air only has that single camera which works really fine, by the way. It is one of the best iPad cameras I've seen so far. So unless you have applications in AR, or you need that ultra wide camera to record videos on your iPad or even take photos, then again, would you notice the difference? Probably yes. But would you need that difference? Mostly not. Now talking about the battery life. On the iPad Air 4, I'm getting just about more than 24 hours with moderate usage. Like I can say for playing games for about half an hour, I lost about 15% juice. After watching a movie for 1.5 hours, I lost about 30% of battery life. And during the 24-hour period, I also took some notes and also did some UI scrolling. So after 24 hours, I noticed that the battery percentage dropped to about 35%, which is actually really respectable, I would say. It's not something really great, or you won't get like 2 days with it or so. And especially if you're traveling for longer periods of hour, then probably you might need to charge it on a regular basis, and also probably might need to carry a power bank with you. But then when the 2021 Pro models would come out, they would have the mini LED displays, and that actually has the turns off the pixels themselves, and it helps in battery efficiency more. So if you're constantly traveling, then I would suggest wait and see what the iPad Pro 2021 offers. Otherwise, would you notice the difference? Probably yes. But would you need that difference all the time? Mostly not. But the Air still comes with a 20-watt fast charger in the box. So I'm not sure if the Pro 2021 models would still have the charger in the box, because everyone is getting rid of it now. Now coming to the storage, I have the 64GB model, and to say the 256GB model is a bit expensive. So that is actually a good thing on the Pro models, because the base model is 128GB, because I think that is a respectable storage amount. 64GB, in that you get only 50GB of usable storage. And for me, as I am editing my videos on my iPad, just one YouTube video takes all that storage. So after uploading one video, I have to free up my storage. So even though with that new Type-C port, you can easily connect to external SSDs. But if you have watched my previous videos, I already had one Samsung SSD, which I returned, by the way, because I think it becomes a different thing to carry all the way. It becomes a different accessory to always carry with you, always carry your data. I think it's more convenient to have it inside your internal storage. So if that is a big deal to you, then do prefer going for the 256GB model. Now talking about the speakers, even though the 4 grills are provided on this iPad Air 4, it's a dual speaker setup, not a quad speaker. And if you see other reviews out there, there is a huge difference between the Pros, even the 2020 Pros speaker sound and the iPad Air's sound. But that is when you compare side by side. In my experience of using the iPad Air 4 speakers, I think the speakers are really good. They might not get loud comparatively, but they are plenty loud, and also they have that bassy punch to them, and also that special audio feature is also there, so you feel that 3D surround sound thing. So again, unless you're comparing side by side, would you notice the difference? Probably yes. But would you need that difference? Now coming to the conclusion, the iPad Air 4 is a complete package at a comparatively affordable price. And if you still decide to go for the 2020 Pro models, then I think this is the time to wait and see what the 2021 Pro models would offer. Because the 2020 Pro models are still like they haven't reduced the price as of yet. The price is still the same. And the 2021 models would also be around the same price. So I think it makes no sense to go for the older Pro models now. And all the upgrades that you would get in the 2021 Pro models would mostly be incremental, but still they would be noticeable if you're in the Pro lineup to say. But if you decide to go for the iPad Air 4, so as we discussed, many things for most people, you would notice the difference if you compare side by side, but for daily usage, even for professional usage, if you're not comparing side by side, you would still get your job done and your productivity would still be almost the same. So that's it guys. Hope you guys like this video. Do let me know your thoughts and suggestions in the comment section below. And make sure to subscribe to this channel. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.